This is not a coincidence. My child, listen carefully. This message did not arrive by accident. You did not click this by chance. You were not randomly drawn here. Something within you felt a pull before your mind could explain it. There are moments when heaven interrupts routine. Moments when the spiritual realm leans close to the natural world. Moments when silence carries warnings and stillness hides movement. This is one of those moments. God says this is urgent. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready. Now, because something is happening near you. Something is approaching your life. Something is standing closer than you realize. And it is at your door. The door you think you know. When you hear the word door, your mind imagines wood, metal, hinges, and locks. But God is not speaking only of the physical door. He is speaking of the door of opportunity, the door of protection, the door of destiny, the door of transition, the door between what was and what will be. Every door represents access. What you allow through that door decides the next chapter of your life. And God says, your door is being visited. Why now? You may ask, why now, God? Why at this moment? Why when I feel tired, confused, or uncertain? Because timing in heaven does not follow human comfort. God visits doors when hearts are quiet, when pride is low, when strength is exhausted, when distractions fade. You have been through pressure recently. You have faced resistance. You have questioned your direction. That is not weakness. That is preparation. What most people miss. Most people miss divine visits because they are loud inside. They are scrolling. They are rushing. They are worrying. They are replaying old pain. God does not force entry. He knocks, softly, patiently, purposefully, and only those who slow down enough recognize the sound. This message is that knock. The visit is not always what you expect. When God says they are at your door, many assume blessing, money, opportunity, breakthrough. And sometimes, yes. But other times, the visit is a warning before harm, a test before promotion, a decision before delay, a correction before destruction. Not every divine visit feels comfortable. Some feel unsettling. Some feel urgent. Some feel unfamiliar. That does not mean they are bad. It means they are important. The 3 types of visitors. God reveals there are 3 kinds of visitors that come to doors. 1. The visitor of opportunity. This visitor brings change, growth, expansion. If ignored, opportunity does not argue. It moves on. Many people pray for doors to open, but refuse to open when opportunity knocks. 2. The visitor of warning. This visitor comes quietly. It warns you before a mistake, before a wrong relationship, before a dangerous decision. Ignoring this visitor leads to regret. 3. The visitor of confirmation. This visitor confirms what you already sensed deep inside. The feeling you couldn't explain, the thought you kept pushing away, the truth you already knew. God says, your door is being visited right now by one of these. Why you feel restless. Have you noticed lately? Your sleep disturbed, your thoughts heavier at night. A sense of urgency without a clear reason. Emotional sensitivity without explanation. That is not anxiety. That is awareness. Your spirit senses movement before your mind understands it. Heaven moves first in the unseen. What happens if you ignore the door? God is gentle, but consequences are real. Ignored warnings turn into lessons. Ignored opportunities turn into regret. Ignored confirmations turn into delay. Delay is one of the enemy's favorite weapons. Not destruction, delay. Because delayed obedience weakens destiny. The difference between fear and discernment. Fear screams. Discernment whispers. Fear pushes panic. Discernment brings clarity. This message is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to awaken you. God says, check who you allow access to. Not everyone deserves access to your life. Not every voice deserves attention. Not every influence deserves proximity. Doors exist for protection, not isolation. God says, be careful who you open to. Some visitors come with smiles but leave with damage. Some come with silence but carry peace. Discernment decides the difference. The door test. This moment is a test, not of strength, but of awareness, not of knowledge, but of obedience. God does not test to fail you. He tests to position you. A final word for this part. God says, you are closer than you think. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. But you must pay attention now, because your door is being visited, and what you do next will determine what enters your next season. The visitor you cannot see, but can feel, my child. Not every visitor announces their arrival with noise. Some do not knock loudly. Some do not ring bells. Some do not demand attention. They simply arrive, and you only realize it later, when something inside you shifts. God says, what is visiting your door now is unseen but powerful. You may not see footsteps, you may not hear movement, but you feel something is different. That feeling is not imagination, it is recognition. Why God uses doors. A door is a boundary. It separates safe from unsafe, known from unknown, past from future, preparation from promise. God always works through doors because doors require choice. Walls don't ask permission. Storms don't ask permission. But doors do. God will never force His way into your next season. He waits for consent. The moment before opening, right before a door is meant to open, confusion increases. You start questioning, is this really from God? What if I'm wrong? What if I miss something? What if I open too soon or too late? That hesitation is normal, but God says, delay long enough, and opportunity loses momentum. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is obedience, despite fear. The knock does not always come as a blessing. This is where many misunderstand God. They expect the knock to feel exciting, comforting, rewarding. But sometimes the knock feels like discomfort, confrontation, exposure, correction, because God loves you too much to leave you unchanged. Some doors must be opened so old patterns can exit. The visit of truth. One of the most intense visitors is truth. Truth knocks when you are tolerating what you should confront. You are staying where you have outgrown. You are trusting what has already shown signs of betrayal. Truth does not shout. It repeats. That thought you keep having, that discomfort you keep dismissing, that inner voice you keep silencing, that is truth knocking. Why this feels urgent? God says this is urgent because windows do not stay open forever. Spiritual timing is precise. Missed moments do not always return in the same form. The same door may not knock again. The same visitor may not wait. Urgency does not mean panic. Urgency means priority. What is at stake? This is not about a small decision. This is about direction, alignment, protection, obedience. Your next choice influences who walks with you, what drains you, what grows in you, what follows you. Doors decide futures. Signs. Your door is being visited. God reveals clear signs. Repeated messages through different sources, sudden clarity after long confusion, discomfort with things that once felt normal, emotional heaviness when ignoring a certain decision, peace when you consider a specific change. Peace is confirmation, not excitement, not applause. Peace. The difference between divine pressure and demonic rush. This is important Demonic rush produces anxiety, fear, and desperation. Divine pressure produces clarity, conviction, and calm urgency. If something is pushing you into panic, pause. If something is pulling you into alignment, listen. God does not confuse. Why some doors must remain closed. Not every knock is meant to be answered. Some doors must remain closed because they lead backward. They drain your calling. They reintroduce old wounds. They distract from purpose. God sometimes sends visitors to test boundaries, not to enter. Discernment decides. The enemy also watches doors. The enemy does not need access to destroy. He only needs distraction. Right before divine movement, temptation increases, doubt increases, old habits resurface, wrong people reconnect. This is not coincidence. It is interference. God says, "Stand at the door with me." You are not being asked to decide alone. God says, "Stand at the door with me." Pray before you open. Wait before you respond. Listen before you act. He will not abandon you in this moment. The cost of opening. Every door has a cost. Opening one door often means closing another. You cannot carry old versions of yourself, old dependencies, old mindsets into a new season. Something must be left behind. What you fear losing versus what you'll gain. You fear losing comfort. God sees you gaining clarity. You fear losing familiarity. God sees you gaining freedom. You fear losing control. God sees you gaining direction. Fear looks at sacrifice. Faith looks at outcome. A personal word for you. God says, "I see how long you have waited. I see how much you endured quietly. I see how often you chose integrity over ease." This visit is not punishment. It is progression. Do not ask for signs you already received. Sometimes we ask God for signs because we are afraid to obey. But repeated confirmation is not faith. It is delay disguised as caution. You already know what this is about. You already feel it. The door will not open itself. This is the hard truth. Doors do not open themselves. They respond to action. Faith without movement remains in tension. God's promise for this moment. God says, "If you open what I am asking you to open, I will close what threatens you. If you close what I am asking you to close, I will protect what matters to you." You are not stepping alone.